Hey, what's up, guys? Rob the Jeweler here. So today we're working on a ring that's 18 karat. I've already cut it. We're sizing it from a 6.5 to an 8. You see it's. The only thing I don't like about 18 karat, 24 karat is it kind of looks fake. Almost looks like it's gold plated. It's the only thing I don't like about it. But that's what we're working on. I've done already cut it and stretched it up to about 7 3/4. I know I've made a lot of ring sizing videos, but repetition is everything, and that's what I've been getting a lot lately is ring sizing. Uh, so that's what we're working with. Um, but we're gonna size this from a 6.5 to an 8, and I've done cut it, stretched it out, got it to about 7 3/4. We're gonna go ahead and file down the sides here with our cutting disc. We're just gonna make the sides even. Okay. Now, we're gonna get our crimper pliers. They're like this, and we're gonna bend these down so that we're not gonna do that because we're not sizing it down. I'm an idiot. Tells you how smart I am. That is not what we're going to do, dummy. All right, we're gonna be looking for a piece of gold instead that will fit in here because we need a piece of gold to take up that gap that is left behind. And we don't need a very big piece. Just need a little piece. I don't know, we might be able to. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this on our mandrel about 7 3/4, and we're gonna take our gold stock and we're gonna measure it out and then cut off where we need to cut it off at. So we're gonna measure it, then we're gonna mark it with something. I like to use the downsizers, but you can mark it with anything. So this way you know where you need to cut it. Okay, and then we'll take our cutters. And we will cut there. Now we got our piece, but what we need to do is we need to now file down the sides of the piece. So we're going to put that in some like channel lock pliers here. And we're going to file down each side. Going to file it down, and then we're going to cut a groove into it so this way it helps lock it into the ring. Now everything that I'm talking about isn't always set in stone. You might find that every jeweler is a little different. You might find something that you like better that works better for you. Um, just because I say do it this or don't necessarily mean you have to do it that way. You find what's comfortable for you. You get the general idea, but then you might find out over time you like doing things a certain way. All right, we got both our sides smoothed out, so we're going to see how this fits in the ring here. Actually fits pretty well. So we got our piece in there. You can see we got it locked in there. Now we have excess. Once we get it welded, we'll cut that excess off. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the ring on our third hand here. Dip it in our denatured alcohol boric acid mix. This helps keep the fire scale to a minimum. Puts protective coating over it. We're going to switch out to a number 5 tip, because I find using a 3 or 4 for necklaces and smaller things and using a 5 for most rings is pretty good. Unless you're working on silver. Silver is a little bit different. Hopefully I'll get some silver to work on, like ring sizes, so you'll see that it takes a little more heat. Takes a little more knack to do silver, but nothing too crazy. And as soon as I get my torch lit up here, we'll set this baby on fire. Well, let's see if we can get it lit now. There we go. Got her on fire. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're working with 10 karat, so we're going to cut us a piece of 10 karat, or 2 pieces of 10 karat solder off. And you can do it with like regular cutters, cut you a little piece off. I got these special pliers that snips a nice little square off. Kind of like using that better. Okay. Then we're going to take our flux here. Now I like to use Aqua Flux, which is it's a self-pickling. And I'm not really, I mean, you can pickle jewelry, but I find that if you do it right, most of the time you don't really need to pickle anything. So I'm not really sure why some jewelers like pickling things, but hey, to each their own. Like I said, everybody does things a little different. But this is a self-pickling flux, which means, you know, you don't have to do a lot of cleanup. It kind of cleans itself off. So now what we're going to do, we're going to heat this bad boy up, get our solder on the pick here. Heat this bad boy up. Your flux is going to kind of bubble a little bit. Now I use hard solder on just about everything. Well, pretty much everything. That's all I use, hard solder on everything. Once you get pretty good, you can use hard solder on just about everything. But sometimes you'll find a jeweler will use medium or easy solder. And the thing I hate is sometimes you don't catch that it's been sized or soldered somewhere. You'll have a jeweler, and this happens to every single jeweler. I don't care who you are. They will use medium or easy solder. You'll put heat to it, and being that medium and easy has a lower flow temperature than hard, before your hard solder can flow, the easy or the medium joint will come apart and you'll have a piece actually blow out of the ring. And that is the most annoying thing. But it will happen to you. It happens to everybody. The only problem with that is then you then have to put a bigger piece in to make up for the piece that blew out, where the jeweler before had used easier medium solder. But like I said, I use hard on everything. Even to do prongs, stuff like that. Even the little stuff. Hollow chains don't matter. And we welded both our sides. So we got that piece welded in there. I'm gonna let that sit and cool for a minute. And you see we got our piece welded in there now. So now what we need to do, we need to cut that excess off for sure. Ooh, that boy's hot. I'm gonna let it cool off for a second, stick it in front of the fan a little bit. Still a little warm, not too bad. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take our cutters, we're going to cut this big excess that we have here off. Okay. You want to hold on to that excess because you can put it with your gold and reuse it to make stock or whatever. Sizing stock for sizing up rings and stuff. Okay. Now let's see where we're at here. So now we need to tap. We're going to tap lightly with our ball peen hammer on the bottom here. We're sitting at about a 7.5, but this isn't really rounded out completely. So we're going to round this out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to file down the inside a little bit with a inside rock. Okay, I'm going to tap on the bottom a little more, get it close to an 8. Get it close to an 8. And I apologize earlier, I said 18, Lord, messing up all kinds of speaking today. This is an 18 karat ring. We used 18 karat solder. So we did not, I said 10 earlier, we used 18 on this. But I can't seem to work and talk at the same time, unfortunately. But this is an 18 karat ring. That's why I was talking about earlier. I kind of hate the 18 24 karat because they look kind of fakeish to me. But we used 18 karat solder on this because you want to use the same solder as the ring is. Okay. So I apologize for that. My brain is apparently not working today. Now what I'm doing is I'm just tapping slowly, round it out, file it down a little bit, get it to an 8. And like I've said in some of my other videos, you always want to make it a little bit smaller when you're sizing, because if you put it right to an 8, put your piece in, then by the time you file it down and everything, it's going to be too big. So you always want to put it about 7 3/4, somewhere in there. You always want to make it a little bit smaller, because by the time you clean it, polish it, it will take a lot of that out of there, and it'll sit right where you want it. And we're pretty much where we want to be. It's an 8 that way, and we're about an 8 that way too. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to file down file the sides down on this piece and the top, and then we're going to use our if I can find it, we're going to use our straight file to file the sides down even. Okay. Now we're going to take our file and our wedge. We're going to put this in our desk so we can set this on its side, and we're just going to use single file strokes to even out the sides, make them even. You don't want to do this motion. You just want to do single stroke. And you don't want to push hard. If you push too hard, you'll make a groove, and you definitely don't want that. Now we're going to do the other side here. What I'm doing is I'm filing the sides down and then kind of doing the inside of the ring a little bit, because when you file it down on the side, you'll kind of get a little bit of a lip on the inside. So that's why I go back to the back to the inside ring rocks file down. Okay, I think we're pretty much where we want to be here. Then we're going to file the top down just a little bit. Same thing, we're just going to be using single strokes going across. Just kind of get the rough edges out of there. Okay, let's check. I think we're pretty much at an 8, and we are. So now we're going to go to our inside ring smoother, and I just call them by name because, like I said, there's many different grades. Some people are going to find different ones they like best. I like to use medium for the inside and the smoothing part. On the inside and the outside, I'd like to use medium. Alright, we got the inside smoothed out, so now we're going to flip to different wheel. It's the same grade, it's a medium grade, but that's just to smooth out the top and the sides. Alright, I think we're pretty much where we need to be. We're at an 8. Want to make sure it's the same size on both sides when you flip the ring over. There's a little bit spot here I want to get smoothed out a little better. Okay, I believe we are where we want to be. Alright, so I'll flip this around and show you what we got here. So this is our ring that we got so far. You can see we got our piece in there. We got it smoothed out. We got it filed down. We still got to buff it a little bit. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go buff it. And then we'll be back and I'll show you the final product. Alright guys. We're back with that ring. We got it all polished and clean. You see we got it sized. My hands are still a little wet. But you can see and the ring's still a little bit wet. It ain't completely dried off. But we got a size from a 6.5 to an 8. And if you got the tools, why not do the repairs yourself? If you'd like and subscribe, also you can donate to us on PayPal. The link will be down in the description, the email. But if you fund us, that'd be great. That helps us continue to make these videos. But this is Rob the Jeweler, and I'll see you on the next one.